to Story Theater. Welcome and how do you do? Welcome to Story Theater. I have a story for you. You know, God has given each one of us a special gift. He's given each one of us a special gift, and he expects us to use it excellently. Now, you'll find out what I'm talking about in this story. Sometimes you use your gift excellently and people get mad. Well, way back in an old time, a boy made a riddle and a girl made him rhyme. It wasn't my time, it wasn't your time. This was a time of King Darius. Now, King Darius had 21 states. No, I'm wrong. 121 states. And he appointed each one a governor. And over these governors, he appointed 3 men to be in charge. And one of them was a Hebrew man named Daniel. Well, Daniel was so good at his job, he was excellent. But the 2 other guys who weren't as good as him were mad at Daniel for being so good. And King Darius said, Daniel, I want you to take over all of that. You be in charge of all of these 121 states and also these 2 guys as well. And you know that made them mad. And they said, look, Daniel done took our job. He didn't take that job. He was just so good, he was appointed just to be over them. What? Well, let me tell you what happened next. Well, King Darius gave Daniel that job, and those 2 officials got jealous, and they tried to figure out some way to get back at Daniel. They came up with a plan. They said, how can we get him? How can I know. Daniel's a very religious man, and I see him praying to his God 3 times a day. Let's come up with something. I got it. We can come up with something to catch him. Let's go to King Darius. So those 2 went to King Darius with a plan. They said, King Darius, they flattered him first. King Darius, you are wonderful. You great king. You one of the best kings we ever had around here. I say, King Darius, we want people to worship the God that you serve. And just for the next 30 days, I know we got other people here worshiping stuff, but just for the next 30 days, nobody is to worship no God but your God, King Darius. And King Darius getting flattered. Said, that's not okay. And they said, but hold, King Darius, we want you to write it down, and I want you to stamp it. Because it's the law of the Medes and the Persians. And that can't even be revoked by nobody. If you like that, don't you, King? And the King, puffed up. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Daniel heard all this. But he did as he normally did. He went on home and he prayed 3 times to his God. He opened up his window and he prayed. Well, those 2 officials, they spy. There you go, praying. Let's go back and tell King Darius. They went back and told King Darius, Daniel, who you put above us, that Hebrew boy. Well, he was praying his God. You said 30 days. Nobody supposed to pray to nobody but your God. And you wrote it down, King. Here it is, right here. You wrote it down. You know the laws of the Medes and the Persians can't be broken even by the king. And King Darius got a little upset because he liked Daniel. Oh, he said, they said, you also said that anybody who doesn't follow this will be put in the lion's den, where they'll be torn to pieces. And they was trying to hide their smiles. They was hoping they would get rid of Daniel that way. But the king could not revoke it. So Daniel was put in the lion's den. And they rolled a stone in front of that lion's den. And he stayed there overnight. And the king was trying to figure out a way he could save Daniel, but it was too late. Well, the next morning came, and the king, Darius said, roll away the stone. He was expecting to see the remains of maybe Daniel's clothes. He rolled away the stone, and guess who walked out? Daniel walked out. The lion was over in that corner sleeping. And King Darius was amazed. He was so amazed that he declared for the whole kingdom, we will not worship any God but the God of Daniel, who shut the lion's mouth. And I want you to read the 6th chapter of Daniel to find out what happened to those 2 officials who was trying to, God don't like ugly. And he said, don't fret for evildoers, for they will soon be cut down. God will take care of the evildoers. Well, Daniel was not only free from those lions, he was exalted to even higher position and more respected. Ebo Ben, my story done end. If you don't believe the story is true, well, ask the person sitting next to you and they say, go read it in your Bible. This story has a lesson. Don't you fret what men can do. The God of the Bible will deliver you. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Now, my friends, whenever we tell God's story, we got to give him all the glory. Here's a word of prayer, because we serve a God who really cares. You know it. In my life, Lord, be glorified, be glorified, be glorified. In my life, Lord, be glorified today. When I prayed, Daniel was a praying man. When I pray, Lord, be glorified, be glorified. When I pray, Lord, be glorified today. Now you go get some rest. And in the morning, when the sun comes up, the S-O-N, let him shine through the window of your heart. And lift up a word of prayer. Remember Daniel.